Mike Atherton arrives at Headingley for his most important test match since taking over the England captaincy. He was fined £2,000 at Lord's by Chairman of Selectors Raymond Illingworth, failing to pass on to match referee Peter Burge the full facts in the ball tampering controversy. There were calls for his resignation, there were messages of support, but he's well aware a decisive England victory will help erase the bitter memories of that first test defeat. Problems of a different kind for South African captain Kepler Wessels. He received a nasty blow on the forearm in the recent match against Leicestershire. At first, it was feared he'd broken a bone. Fortunately, he's passed himself fit to lead his team in the search for a victory that would wrap up this three-match series. Well, welcome to the highlights of this second Cornhill Test match in the series of three between England and South Africa. A wonderful win for the South Africans down at Lord's, a massive victory, 356 runs, their biggest ever run victory in a Test match. Well, this Headingley pitch quite often assists the seam bowlers. No one better to tell us about that than Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, it's very pleasant out here this morning. We'll look at this pitch. It's nice and straw-coloured. The bounce is never too high at Headingley. It'll be medium-low, and as the match progresses, I presume that the pace and bounce will go out of the pitch. Look, there's nothing in that at all. And look at the key. Been a lot of rain around here in Yorkshire. Covers have been on. It's sweated quite a lot. The pitch is still dryish. The key's only just touching it. It's quite dry. Bit of sweating on top. If we go down here a little bit more towards the length, you'll see one or two darkish patches here. I'm not allowed to put the key in there, but these darkish patches, they're just a little bit softer than the rest of the pitch. I think all in all, it's one of those tosses which the captains would be happy to lose. They'd like to bat first, but they'd like to be sure that they're going to get through the first session and a half without losing too many wickets. So all in all, a very tricky decision for both captains today.
And we can see what decision they make now. Here they are, the two skippers, and they're with Tony Lewis.
We'll have a bat.
Well, Michael, you won the toss, and what have you chosen to do?
We're going to have a bat.
What do you see out here? Because people see many things at many different stages, don't they?
Headingley's a notoriously difficult ground to judge what the wicket's going to do. We think it looks a reasonable batting wicket.
And let's presume then that you'll be bowling last. Who have you got in your attack?
We've left out Joey Benjamin, so we're playing Phil Tufnell.
Left arm spin. Thanks very much. And Kepler, congratulations first of all on the last victory. It seems we get swamped in the media by other matters, but you must be looking forward to playing at Headingley too.
Yes, we are. As Michael said, Headingley is quite a notorious ground, so we are looking forward to the match and have to see what happens.
You've played here before, of course.
1985, we got beaten by England in that match, and they played well, but it was quite a close one, so it was a good game of cricket.
And you have the same team playing?
Yes, we have. There's no need at the moment for us to make changes after the victory at Lord's, and hopefully we'll have as a competent a performance as we had there.
People talk about all seam, but you have got a couple of stray spinners up your sleeve there, haven't you?
We do. Actually, the spinners that aren't playing in the Test match have done pretty well in the county matches. They've taken wickets and they've bowled pretty well. So, if need be, you know, we can always include them with confidence. But yeah, the ones we've got in the side can send a couple of overs down.
You better name them because they may be famous after this match.
Well, it's a Kirsten brothers, so we'll just have to toss a coin and see which one it's going to be.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Little touch of optimism there from Kepler Wessels, and it's no wonder after that big victory at Lord's. These are the teams for the Test match here at Headingley. On the right-hand side, South Africa unchanged, and that's one of the reasons Wessels is quietly confident, even though he himself has been injured with that rather nasty blow to the forearm. The England side, well, there are a lot of changes there. The actual changes in personnel are that Tufnell comes into the side. Joey Benjamin was left out of the final 12 this morning, and Fraser holds his position. So the pace attack is going to be Fraser, Goff and De Freitas, and Tufnell to spin, and also Graham Hick. But Gooch has gone up to bat at number 2 with Atherton, and then Hick is at 3, Thorpe 4, and Stewart has been dropped down to 5, and Crawley has gone from 3 to 6 from Lord's to here. So many changes there in the England side. The umpires for this match, David Shepherd and Steve Dunn. David Shepherd, a wonderful umpire and vastly experienced. Steve Dunn, on his way up, is a New Zealand umpire, the international umpire on the panel, to confirm that England won the toss and the batting. The third umpire is Chris Balderston, and we pick up play now with the first ball of the match. Alan Donald is the bowler, and Graham Gooch is taking strike.
Gooch straight away into his favourite mid-wicket area, slow outfield because of the heavy rain, but still 4.
Well, this was a beauty. Lovely length. The line was so good, you see, it's just outside there, 6 inches, making him come forward to play it. This time it nipped back, but if it holds its line and goes out, then you've got problems as a batsman.
Atherton off the mark. Again, poor direction. It's got to be a dive. Just look at it. And just look at this for a piece of agility from a fast bowler. More leg side, and more runs. Graham Gooch, he looks in prime form. He's being fed.
Well, this is practice, isn't it? Just practice batting. See that left foot get right outside the line of the ball. He loves that, to play across it. Oh, that's a poor shot. Really. Bit of width here. Bounced a bit. I don't think that was the ball to be trying to score off.
Oh. Well, the first moral success for Alan Donald. I don't think they were the words he used.
Well, this is a big slice of luck for England. Inside edge. Got him on the back foot. Keeper couldn't get to it.
That's 4 more, and that's poor bowling by any standards. Straight away a fuller length, but too full. Great stuff from the England openers.
Well, this is a classical cover drive. Lovely timing. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Lovely stride to the ball, and then just let the bat nicely come through.
A few empty seats still. Doubt that they will be filled later in the day.
The sort of thing de Villiers can do. He's generally coming in at the right-hander off the seam. Every so often he'll have one hold up a bit, or, as that one did, hit on the seam and go away towards the slips. Gone. Gooch is gone. He turns and makes his way straight back from the stumps now. The dressing rooms are in a different position. First man down for England, and that was well bowled by Fani de Villiers. He got just enough movement away to get rid of the former England captain. Made a good start today, Gooch, 23, before he was caught by McMillan, who had a very safe pair of hands.
Full delivery wide. When Graham Gooch looks at that again, he'll maybe rue the shot, but the bowler lured him into the stroke.
And Hicks, the new man. And there's the start.
De Villiers whacking the ball in short straight away, and Hick taking him on.
That was an appeal for LBW. Villiers seeing what he thought was the ball hit the pad first, and Hick half forwards.
Well bowled, because this one darted back in a little bit. And Graham Hick hadn't got a long way forward. It's really just a question of bat on ball, I think.
Well, that's what these South African bowlers do have. They have a persistence, a good line, and if there's anything in it, that odd movement off the seam. Super shot. Looked a much slower ball from Craig Matthews, and in the end it just stood up there and asked to be hit.
Yes, it was an invitation gratefully accepted. The thing about these South African bowlers has been that they don't give that much away. This was a rare occasion this morning.
Well, that was a painful blow. There's terrific power and thrust in this bowling of Brian McMillan.
Yes, Mike Atherton got caught a little bit because he didn't quite bounce as high as he was expecting to start with and hoping, and ended up in a very awkward position, took his eye off the ball about there, and that's going to be collarbone territory, which potentially is very, very painful. It's a fabulous shot from Graham Hick. It seems at the moment that Alan Donald cannot find rhythm at either end. And if you bowl like that, wide of off stump, without the fiery pace that has made Alan Donald's reputation, then the runs will come.
.52 for 1. Donald to Hick. I don't think Mr. Donald enjoyed the first shot, and that was a little bit quicker.
Kepler Wessels didn't really want an X-ray when he was hit on Monday. He said, no point, because I'm going to play. Then when he got two differing views from the hospital, one that the radiographer that it was probably broken, one from the doctor that it probably wasn't, he said he'd listen to the doctor. Great stop. Gary Kirsten.
Well, this bit of fielding was the position of the fielder, just back a yard or two, so that, there he is, he's just back a few yards, so that he can defend and save runs.
Great shot, in control of it. Doesn't need all that much room, Graham Hick, to play that sort of cut.
Clever shot was this. Look how he keeps the ball down. He's on top of it. An authentic late cut. You don't see too many of these off the faster bowlers.
Oh, dear me. One of the best balls of the morning.
Well, this is why he still looks vulnerable to me, Graham Hick. He's played a lovely shot, and then, well, he never really looked in the position. He's still moving when he plays the ball. He's not got in a good position. He plays there, and then look, his back foot shuffles over. He's on the move.
That's a very good performance by those two England batsmen, Atherton and Hick, to get up to lunch without losing another wicket. 70 for 1 represents a fine effort from England on a pitch where the ball was just doing a little bit of swing and a bit of movement off the seam. Atherton 19 and Hick 24. And the bowling figures for South Africa: Donald under 30, unusually expensive there. De Villiers the 1 wicket taker. Matthews, I thought, bowled very well. 7 overs, 2 maidens, no wicket for 13. We join play now after lunch in the 3rd over. Matthews is the bowler. Atherton is taking strike, and 6 runs have been added to the lunchtime score. Upfield is slow. Very odd stroke. A bit like a one-handed shot once again.
I don't think this was a deliberately slower ball from Matthews. Hit it before he takes the right hand off. He certainly didn't want to get it in the air. Whether the ball's held in the wicket fractionally, as if it might have done.
He runs for that, and it depends on how much water there is on the outfield, whether they get 4 for it. And they will do.
Rare play and miss here from Hick, but that's the length to bowl at Headingley. Absolutely perfect. Drawn him into the shot. Not a big move. Extra movement with the left foot will indicate that the balance wasn't correct. Watch here. 1 step, play, and then another step. Had he been there in the first place, might have hit it for 4, or he might have nicked it. Who knows?
Gosh, that's well bowled. Beautiful slower ball. It's also a great catch. But that is terrific bowling from Fani de Villiers once again. He's beaten Hick with 1 delivery, and then he's drawn him into the drive with a slower ball. And Brian McMillan has completed a brilliant catch. That's very, very good cricket. McMillan is the man with his hands on his knees, Botham style. Doesn't make much difference. He really got it in the tips of the fingers of his right hand. The left hand was there, but I don't know that the left hand did anything but break his fall. Graham Thorpe, left-hander from Surrey, comes out. Good bowling being produced out there by Fani de Villiers.
Swinger. Now look at that seam movement away from the left-hander, and an extra pace and bounce. Richardson didn't hang on to it, took him by surprise. Thorpe certainly played at it. End of a wonderful over.
And just short. A couple of Vessels has asked for it. Umpire Steve Dunn is being called in. Nope, but hit the ground. That's a good shot. He's dealt with that beautifully.
Nicely inside it, well balanced. 4 runs.
Great strokes in this over. Wonderful hook, pulling stroke, and then the most glorious cover drive.
Stroke of the morning. Graham Hick hit a great shot off the back foot. Look at this. Weight through the ball. Allowed width to get the arms right through and made no mistake.
Luckiest runs Atherton will score today.
Well, it was a little bit of a silly shot, an ungainly shot really, little poke outside off stump, one-handed, catchable, not necessarily easy, but you've got to say that's catchable. Look at this, it's a poor shot, jumping wide.
Oh, Graham Thorpe, really, he's come out to play positively, and what an innings he's shaping.
There you are, you see Jack, it's that dark, he couldn't see the ball too well, could he? He just smashed it for 4 past mid-on. Must have seen this well enough.
Well, good shot again. The outfield's very slow, but that is simply racing away from Tony de Villiers. That's typical of the strokes Thorpe has played since he came out at the dismissal of Graham Hick. Been a good performance by Thorpe and Atherton. They've put on 50 now. It's been the high point of the day. 71 balls. And, been fine entertainment. Shot. Played one off de Villiers earlier and then thumped him away through the covers. Millen has tested him with a short one, and he has given it plenty. That'll be 4, slow outfield or not. Half century for the England captain. Straight back past the bowler. Didn't quite get it off the meat of the bat. Once it gets onto that slope, it is very, very difficult to pull back. Almost looked as though that went through Alan Donald's hands. Mind having a go at that short one.
It's difficult to control yourself when you're following through. He's got it over the top of Donald, but off the closer to the toe of the bat.
Just look at that. I don't think I've ever seen Graham Thorpe come out so prepared to play all his shots.
It's very much as though he's out here with a point to prove, the point obviously being that he should have been playing a lot more for England through the summer.
Well, it's all going Thorpe's way. That's 50.
Well, it's been a very good 52 for Graham Thorpe, a very positive innings. It wasn't the best shot of the innings with which he got his 50, but it all counts. 4 runs down to third man off the outside edge. He's achieved his aim of spreading the field a bit anyway. He's put the South Africans back on the defensive for really the first time in the field in this series.
There was a loss of 40 minutes play because of bad light in that session between lunch and tea. But that's a very good effort again from England. 175 for 2, Atherton on 63, and Thorpe. That is a very, very good performance. Left-hander made the South Africans change their line, just disturbed them a little bit, which didn't happen at Lord's, where they had everything their own way. And that was a real eye-opener from Graham Thorpe. I saw him make 100 against the Australians on debut last year, and he's done his chances of going to Australia no harm at all. 175 for 2, and the bowling figures, Donald, well, 65 from 13, 5 from every over, and that is expensive for him. De Villiers 2 for 45. Matthews again is in there, very accurate, and McMillan also. Between them, they bowled 22 overs and just had 57 runs taken from them. We join play now in the first over after the tea interval. Matthews is bowling. Thorpe, the left-hander, is taking strike. There's no addition to the score. It's a great shot. Been very strong on the cover drive today and through extra cover, as well as that with the pull shot. It's a little beauty. Perfectly positioned. Nicely across there, and just a sweet flow of the bat. It's away in the air, and it's over. For 1-1 for a moment, Atherton would have looked around and seen that fielder skirting around the boundary. Looked like a top edge. Into the crowd. Fast funny. Won't be all that pleased about that. He got that on the up. Played a similar stroke one-handed this morning. In the end, I suppose it went where he wanted it, but it looked for a moment as though Matthews might just have had him in a problem area. Go to the boundary. It wasn't a catch. It was well short and wide of Kepler Wessels.
Now be asking himself, should I have a second slip or should I have that man on the drive there? And he got 10 fielders other than the bowler. One of them has got to be the wicket-keeper, and you've got to put the others where you think is right.
Well, the camera was brilliant. That was the only eye that caught it. Quite like a flash, square on the offside, 4 runs.
Well, this is how he's played all day. When he's thought something's there to hit, he's whacked it.
Very good stroke. Very good effort at the stop, but it runs away down the hill here. Francis Cornet is a very athletic young man. Used to diving for try lines and for late tackles at Bloemfontein, but nice opening of the face of the bat. That's a good shot. Steered square. Atherton now moves into the 90s. Beats Kirsten to the boundary.
Yeah, so this is a straightish ball about middle stump, and he just works it from there. And Alan Donald will out of your picture. He stands there, hands on hips, frustrated, and he just can't believe how it's being worked away for 4.
In the air, and that's out. Well, I think Graham Thorpe will blame himself there because cover point was lying deep. That was Jonty Rhodes. And the ball before, he played an attacking stroke in the air, which was the top edge. Such a shame, no need to go, but still 226 for 3, and maybe that's the result of that nagging length bowling recommended by Jeff Boycott and performed by Brian McMillan.
Well, I think it was just a little bit of overconfidence. He's played so splendidly well, playing shots, trying to hit over the top of it when the seamer's just nagging at him, and he tried one of those shots and got away with the top edge for 2, but no great criticism for me. It's been a splendid innings. It's been very important for him when he's been kept out of the England setup all season.
And it's 226 for 3.
Alex Stewart, the new man. Through, onto the brink, 99.
That's as good a shot as Michael Atherton has played all day.
could have been out, went anywhere, and it is not Donald's day, and it looks as though it's going to be Atherton's.
Well, again, Alan Donald doing very well to get this ball up to chest height. Mike Atherton had no idea where that had gone. Even though he's quick on his feet and quick to react, Alan Donald's just too far away from him.
He's got him, and a second 99 for Atherton. He did it at Lord's last year against the Australians, and Macmillan has caught and bowled him for 99. England 235 for 4. But just listen to the reception that the England captain gets.
Well, the crowd is certainly rising to their feet to applaud Mike Atherton back into the pavilion. They'll be sharing his disappointment that he hasn't reached the 100 mark, but nevertheless very grateful that he's put England in such a good position, really through some very single-minded, determined batting all the way through the day. Just held back slightly on that shot to give Macmillan the chance of the return catch, but very warmly applauded back into the pavilion. But a very fine catch indeed.
Well, it was, because the right leg, as he took the catch, went from under him, whether it was the diving action, but it's gone, and great reflex catch. New batsman John Crawley. Must be out, isn't. Twice Donald has done that. Once to Atherton, now to Stewart. From nowhere he's made one rear, and each time the finger's gone against him.
Alex Stewart, in the same way as Mike Atherton in the previous over, had just no control of that. It was a leading edge.
Another edge, and that'll be 4. Well, when the luck runs, it runs.
It's dropping short of Brian Macmillan. Having achieved the edge, always that much nicer if the fielder can stop it for you as a bowler.
Well, he helped himself to that one. And that was sheer frustration from Donald. He bowled such a good 2 or 3 overs, dug that one in, got what it deserved, 245 for 4.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled. He's bowled 3 balls, 1 to Atherton, 1 to Stewart, and now 1 to Crawley. First 2 came up off the bat just out of the reach of the fielders. That one didn't get the opportunity even to do that.
It was very, very fast and nowhere for John Crawley to go other than down. Leaning back, it just followed him. Bang, straight into the chest. Tough game, this.
Didn't quite get that off the meat of the bat, but there's only the man down that ordinary long leg. He's got away with it. It landed about halfway out to the boundary. It's not a good place to bowl to Alex Stewart. A moment of mental aberration for Fani de Villiers. He's seen Alex Stewart bat on many occasions. That's a lovely shot. He's a talented player, Crawley. We didn't see much of him down at Lord's. Wasn't really a match for England's batsmen to distinguish themselves. But he has got plenty of ability.
Saw Alex Stewart timing the ball nicely earlier. Crawley showing he can do just the same on the offside of the wicket.
One more run added to take it along to 268 for 4. That was a handsome stroke from John Crawley, and he did well at the end there to stay with Alex Stewart. Stewart on 24 and Crawley on 12. Good performance from the other players. Atherton and Thorpe, the stars. I thought that was a lovely innings from Graham Thorpe, his 72. Left-hander just broke up the line of the South African bowlers, and Atherton 99 for the second time in 2 years. He's missed out on a century just by 1 run. 268 for 4, and the bowling figures. Donald, no justice there, none for 95. He bowled really well in his last session. 2 for 65 for de Villiers. Matthews, I thought, bowled well, and McMillan really got stuck in out there, worked very hard today. 2 for 43 from 17 overs and 6 maidens. And now, with his ideas on the day's play, here's Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, it was a splendid batting day for England. For the last 10 days, it's been all doom and gloom in English cricket. The loss to South Africa at Lords, the Michael Atherton affair, has put everybody on a dampener. But today, everything came right. Graham Thorpe was the star for me. He gave a very belligerent, forceful innings, pulling the fast bowlers, driving powerfully, and he's done himself and the team a power of good. His batting, his very positive, powerful batting, helped Michael Atherton blossom. He was under a lot of pressure at the start of the match, so full marks to his character coming through. He blossomed, his timing was perfection, and he will be very pleased tonight that England are in the position they are. South Africa, they're bowling, well, they didn't stick to one side of the wicket, so all in all, it's a smile on the face of English cricket tonight, so England go home very, very happy indeed.
Geoffrey Boycott's right. There should be a smile on the face of English cricket tonight, and there certainly was one on Michael Atherton's face at his press conference. He doesn't always give press conferences during the match. He did here, and he was very complimentary about the big Yorkshire crowd present on this opening day of the Cornhill Test match. He thought that they did a terrific job for him when he walked out, and certainly when he walked back. We'll be back here at Headingley tomorrow, the second Cornhill Test match, second day, BBC 2, 10:55 a.m., and we leave you now with 2 men. Michael Atherton, a wonderful comeback from him, and Graham Thorpe. I thought that was a great hand from the young Surrey left-hander. An agonising moment for England's skipper Mike Atherton, out for the second time in Test matches on 99. But his sterling effort on the opening day, together with that of Graham Thorpe, has England in a very, very strong position. Now he'll be looking to Alex Stewart and the rest of the England batting to build up a big total here on the second day at Headingley in order to put pressure on South Africa for the first time in this Cornhill series. A crucial session in prospect here this morning. The new ball is due very shortly, and South Africa will be very, very keen indeed to break this partnership, which looked so promising yesterday evening. That's between Alex Stewart and John Crawley. 268 for 4, that's the way it starts off on the second morning here at Headingley, with Stewart 24 and Crawley 12. Very good performance towards the end there, and Atherton played well for his 99. Lovely hand from Graham Thorpe. I was very impressed with him once again in making his 72. So that's the way it is at the start of play, and the pitch, well, here's Geoffrey Boycott with his views.
Lovely sunny day for cricket. Look at this pitch. Look how it's drying out, straw colours. The bounce of the ball, well, that won't change much. If anything, it'll get a little lower as the match goes on. But if we walk down here, we can see how the pitch is drying out. Look here at the cracks on this side. You couldn't see cracks like this yesterday. Now, this is what the Headingley pitch is famous for. These cracks appearing. And as they get wider, with the sun out, the drier weather, it'll dry out more and more. The cracks will get wider. As the cracks get wider, then you get a little bit more uneven bounce. The ball hits the crack and dies, or occasionally you get unpredictable bounce. We come further round, you can see more cracks here. You couldn't see any of these yesterday. Near my shadow here, look. These are cracks that were not there at all. And if it stays sunny, England are in a great position because they've got runs on the board, and this pitch will not get better as the match progresses.
No real problems there as regards the pitch, according to Geoffrey, and the weather looks good. Bright start, chance of light showers during the early afternoon, but hopefully we'll escape those. A light westerly breeze and a temperature 23 degrees Celsius or 73 degrees Fahrenheit. They say that'll be the maximum, but that breeze will be very, very welcome. We join play now with the second ball of the morning. No runs have been added. Fanny de Villiers is the bowler, John Crawley is taken straight.
That's a good shot. That's a class shot. Nice little flip to the leg side. Well bowled.
Well, that's good. He didn't swing it very much yesterday, Finally de Villiers. This one just left him off the pitch.
Oh, well bowled. That's pitched further up, still getting the movement away, and Alex Stewart completely up the wrong line.
Well, we've seen quality bowling this over. The discipline of the line now, that did swing.
Very pleasant stroke indeed. That was sheer timing. I know it goes down the hill here, telling me, towards the rugby stand, but met with the meat of the bat.
Well, it was a nice firm push, was this. The ball just drifting in. And once it gets down that slope, once it beats the fielder and it's got a little bit of firmness about it, then you're struggling to catch it.
Oh, well bowled.
Yes, if you're watching here, this is all right. He's quite entitled to pick any grass off the seam that say he's bowled a ball, it's hit the seam, and a little grass there or dirt. He's quite entitled to clean all that, use his sweat, his saliva if he wants, to keep that ball shiny, keep it in the pristine condition that a swing seam bowler wants.
Oof, that was in the air, and that would have been a catch to fourth slip. Of course, it wasn't one, and of course there's no third man, so of course it's 4 runs. John Crawley. Well, that's Alex Stewart at his best. It's a sort of leeward shot, really. It's a very upright stroke. But when he middles it, it flies away.
Well, this is the best shot we've seen this morning so far. A little bit of quality.
And that brings up the 50 partnership.
Stewart's great strengths there around about leg stump.
Capitalising, times the ball beautifully there. Still head, lets the ball come to him.
Short leg back about 5 or 6 yards. And it's made no difference. Fine stroke. That's a good stroke. Got that away beautifully past mid-on. So 2 good strokes in that area this morning. One was just a little push that raced away. That was more a clubbing on drive, and it's put up to 300 for England.
It's one of the nicer shots to see played in the game of cricket. The straight drive, just on the onside between the stumps and mid-on.
Hit it, and the next fraction of a second it was whacking into the advertising hoardings just over the rope. Useful stroke.
There to be hit wide and very full.
For Alex Stewart. Good knock. He's played very well. Peter Stewart.
Fair bit of cricket this. Short delivery. Stewart hits it like a rocket. Kirsten's perched about 12 yards from the bat. Gets a big hand on it. Nearly slows it down enough, or does. Stop it going for 4, so long as the fielder takes a stroke with him.
Gary Kirsten again. That's the short side of the ground, so there's 4 there for Stewart. Donald is cranky. Stewart probably delighted.
Donald furious with himself. He knows he mustn't bowl there to most batsmen, least of all Alex Stewart.
That's a cracking stroke. It's hit the boundary again, a fraction of a second after it left the bat. A couple of great shots from Alex Stewart now.
To put them away, but the South African bowling attack has presented Stewart with a lot of deliveries to hit for 4 this morning.
Super shot. Got the left leg out of the way to make room. Wasn't an orthodox shot in many ways, but highly effective.
It wasn't the quickest ball that Brian McMillan's ever bowled. It really did fly away to the boundary. That's come right off the meat of the bat. Fixed the wrists over the top of it. Didn't actually go straight to ground. It carried probably 40, 50 yards in the air behind square leg, and then raced away down to the old pavilion.
Beautiful shot. That's as good as anything we've seen this morning. Also brings up the 100 partnership. Just the 2 batsmen changing ends, and it's achieved the right result for England.
A very good partnership. Runs coming in good time, largely thanks to Alex Stewart.
Beautifully timed. No chance at all of cutting that off. The outfield's faster today, with the effect of yesterday's storms having disappeared. That's a good shot. Nice to see a young player making his way, and he's got some experience at the other end as well. Doesn't mind taking them off middle and leg.
Alex Stewart really fancying that short ball, but it really sort of dipped on it. It didn't come as quick as he thought at first. He was lucky in the end to get away with it.
Sitting back in your living rooms, you'd be prepared to put some money on the fact that Alex Stewart had hit that. Just that the ball swung a terrific amount once it had gone past his bat. He paid full price. Neat little glance there by Alex Stewart. 350 up for the loss of 4 wickets. OBW. It was, I thought you'd call a unanimous appeal, but we did say earlier that John Crawley seemed to be into the habit of trying to whip the ball away off his stumps.
Yes, John Crawley just walks across this a little bit. Off stumpish, well, I think that's probably out. Just a possibility it might have gone down, but he does walk across his stump, and he does like to work it to the onside. This is the stump camera. Him on the knee roll. He's on the back foot. You can even see the leg stump. I think all in all, when he really sees how to get in the dressing room, we'll have to say, well, that's out.
350 for 5 at lunch, and a very good performance by those two batsmen, Stewart and Crawley. They almost got through with that unbroken partnership. Matthews got Crawley, and he did look very, very plumb. He has this habit of going across to play the ball to the onside. Might be something the bowlers will take note of for the future. But he made 38, 79 to Stewart. Good performance, and the bowling figures for South Africa. Donald, he's over the 100 mark. De Villiers has 2 wickets now. Matthews got the 1 there to fall. And 82 runs were made in the session. Brian McMillan there with 2 for 62. So that's an excellent performance from England in the first session of play. We join play in the 5th over after lunch now. 5 runs have been added. Finally, De Villiers is the bowler, and Steve Rhodes is taking strike.
It's not going his way.
Well, that was never going to carry. Again from wide of the crease, and the movement away from the bat, but Stephen Rhodes did the right thing, just dropped his wrists, didn't push out at the ball. See him there taking one hand off the bat, that takes the pace off the ball.
Well, thank you very much. Alex Stewart hit McMillan for 2 spanking boundaries just before lunch. That was a cracker. Let's have a look at it.
Well, it's remarkably close.
Before more.
No problem with the result. Just closed the face round on it at the last moment. At the start, it looked as though Alex Stewart was going to aim through mid-off, but flicks the wrist round on it.
Bowled him. And so it all ends for Alex Stewart on 89. Again, it's Brian McMillan. What a hand he's played in so many dismissals in this England innings. And it all looked so very simple. But it's 367 for 6. Almost bewilderment from Alex Stewart. And how on earth did that get through? Really did come as quite a surprise. I think he's misjudged the length. He'll look back at that and think he maybe should have been forward. He's also pushing hard at it rather than looking just to defend it and keep it out. Philip de Freitas joins Stephen Rhodes. Rhodes is 5 not out. Batsmen to come, Darren Gough, Gus Fraser and Philip Tufnell. Good afternoon. Well, there's nothing like unison, Ryan. I think we've rehearsed that.
A very good stroke. With that, with a lot of skill and timing, just waited for it. Won't be anything much easier than that. A slowish full toss or a half volley on leg stump. Now, Alan Donald's having problems again. It stems back to the fact that he was off the field for 20 minutes this morning at the start of play. They said then that it was an injury to a toe. That it may be that, or it may be that he's had a recurrence of problem with a cyst on the ball of his foot. great shot. He had to wait for it a bit. Played 1.5 shots at it. But it came right off the middle of the bat.
Well, I think Stephen Rhodes was ready for a ball that was going to be shorter in length than the previous full toss. Never got up very high. He was halfway down the wicket, but not really banged in the way you'd expect Alan Donald to do so. A great shot.
Bowled in. Alan Donald's first wicket. Full Yorker. May even have been a touch more than that. So Philip de Freitas goes. And now England 394 for 7.
De Freitas gone for 15. 34 balls that took him, and a good ball from Alan Donald. Just enough pace to get through the defences. See it perfectly from that angle. Pitch is 6 inches or so behind that front crease. And that really is perfect Yorker length. Splits the stump. That certainly couldn't handle the pace, and nor could Philip de Freitas.
So 394 for 7. Darren Gough has come to the crease. Take that. What a flourish. How'd you like that? Play yourself in for one ball, then play your shots. Brings up to 400. There goes that inside-out flourish again. Oh, what an effort from Rhodes. That's brought applause from all round the ground and from his field mates. His fielding mates there have appreciated just what he accomplished there. That really was something out of the ordinary.
Just like you in your youth, Jacker. I think a bouncer is the order of the day from Alan Donald. Let's try and shake up young Gough.
Nice prediction. I'm not sure he shook him up.
I thought there's a nice little bit of cricket being played within the big game here. Darren Gough, remember, got hit on the arm by Alan Donald at Lord's. Gough's expecting the bouncer. Donald knows he is, but he's still going to bounce him.
15 balls Gough's faced, 13 runs. Oh, goodness me, that's one of the most fearsome deliveries of the match. Well, that did everybody. Firstly Gough, then the wicketkeeper.
Well, all I'd say about this, it's a bit quick. Wonderful ballet dancing by Darren Gough. Exquisitely done. Watch this. Good footwork, Darren.
Footwork, leg work and head work, I think. The whole body's in this. Well, you can set as many men as you like out for the hook. You can't put one there.
Well, that's right. There's always something happening when Darren Gough's about.
That's a splendid performance from Darren Gough. Some very exciting cricket there leading up to tea. 425 for 7 with 6 runs added to take it up to that score. Very good performance all the way down the list there. No scores below single figures. and something for the South Africans to think about over tea. We join it now in the first over after the tea interval. Hansie Cronje is the bowler. Steve Rhodes is taking strike. Good shot. Jonty Rhodes is after it, so too Kirsten. And in the end, they'll just get in one another's road. Just shows how much quicker the outfield is today. That's very well played. Beautiful stroke. The bowler might throw up his hands and think for one instant that he's got a chance there, but that was beautifully struck.
Nothing wrong with this at all. The ball did swing a little bit, but he picked that, hit straight through the line and the length of the delivery intentionally over extra cover. Super shot.
Oh, it didn't carry. Did it carry or did it not?
Certainly did carry. Get a good view of it here. Kepler Wessels moving just a fraction too late. That was the key to that. He made his movement a split second too late.
That's out. Well, exuberance but no judgment. Stranded. Good chase, good turn, excellent throw, and, well, you can see he was in trouble yards out. But Darren Goff's innings, full of exuberance. Looks like a lot of young men never quite see the danger. An innings much appreciated by his home crowd as the 8th wicket goes down for 447.
Although he's giving him a standing ovation, you'd think he might have got 150. Standard push onto the leg side started the whole incident off. Gary Kirsten was the man at mid-wicket. This is the key, a very quick return. Picked up the ball, turned on the run, and Darren Goff well out. Gary Kirsten, the same man that ran out Angus Fraser, the new batsman at Lord's, in similar fashion.
Well, a spot of excellent fortune there, both in the snick and also in the misfield. It's 450 up now for England, 451 for 8. Can this be the half century? Be careful. He makes it. Good judgment this time. That must be a moment of great delight for Steve Rhodes, the Yorkshireman who now plays for Worcestershire. And a handshake from the more experienced Angus Fraser. That's Keith Boyce, the groundsman. He is ready to spring into action, no doubt, with a declaration forthcoming. Fine shot. That'll be 4 runs. And there's Michael Atherton. He looks as if he's about to call them in.
Well, that's a fine blow. 4 runs. Takes Rhodes on to 58. Score under 465. Still no declaration. got that. Now that has gone some way. Four runs it is. Crowd are signalling they thought it might be two more. Oh, Fraser's joined in the act. Has he caught him? Yes, he has. That should be it, and it is. Fraser goes, de Villiers picks up a wicket, and the declaration at 477 for 9. Angus Fraser did his little bit. Only man on the card not to get into double figures.
And that declaration at 477 for 9 allowed 8 overs to be bowled, or that the game would go on until 6 o'clock. Very good performance from England all the way through. South Africa tied them down at one stage, but they got back again with Gough and that splendid performance from Stephen Rhodes. My word, it's a good thing for the England side now that the bottom half of their order is able to make runs. The bowling figures for South Africa, well, they struggled towards the end, having tied England down for that little short period in the middle today. Donald and de Villiers, 100 each off them. In the 90s for Matthews and McMillan. McMillan, I thought, was the best of the bowlers. 37 overs and 12 maidens, 3 for 93. We join the South African innings now with the second ball. Darren Gough is the bowler. There's a lot of tension around the ground, and he's bowling to Andrew Hudson.
There's Hudson away. He is capable of some very, very clean striking.
Just have been missing. It darted back very, very sharply. Just have gone down leg side. But it didn't get up at all. Very well bowled. You can gauge the worth of this little spell from Darren Gough by the fact that no one else in the match has been able to do this. He's a yard quicker than anyone so far. Got him. First blood to Gough. Beautifully bowled and very, very well caught. That went fast. Hudson is out, caught by Atherton. Nice clean catch and bowled by Gough for 9. Takes 19 balls and it's 13 for 1. Breakthrough Atherton gambled on.
Exactly what England wanted. Their pace bowler supplies it. Hudson getting, for the first time this series, a good stretch forward with the left foot, but then playing a shot that was neither defensive or attacking, just pushing at the ball, away from the body, and the ball fairly flew to slip. Caught by Michael Atherton, throat high.
And Gough, the man who's achieved the breakthrough. David Richardson, the man coming out to face the music now. Little edge, perhaps? No. Well, that's the sort of ball that the South Africans won't be enjoying. One that keeps low. Well,
Umpire Shepherd indicated it was going down.
The problem is with his left hand. where he's struck by De Freitas. Wasn't the sort of stroke to build any great confidence in the dressing room.
It's precisely what one means when one talks about night watchmen. Got to be equipped to play the bouncing ball.
The attempted Yorker, and it's well stroked away by David Richardson. Outfield's faster today.
Interestingly, they were looking for 3. Again, the sensible thing here would have been for Richardson to have only ever looked for 2. If it happened to go for 4, that's fine.
(31-1) at the close of play for South Africa, with just Hudson out. That was an expensive last over for Darren Gough, and it got them up there to just a respectable position from the 8 overs that were bowled at them. Richardson on 13 and Kirsten on 7. Hudson gone for 9 to Gough, who bowled in very fast fashion. 5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 25. Expensive, but it didn't matter. There were plenty of runs to play with, and he was the paciest bowler we've seen in this match so far. De Freitas 4 overs, 1 maiden, no wicket for 5. So at the end of 2 days of this Cornhill Test match at Headingley, England 477 for 9 declared, and South Africa 31 for 1, 446 runs behind. And with his ideas on today's play, Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, another good day for England. 2 in a row, batting well. Alex Stewart and Stephen Rhodes were the key men. They batted soundly, sensibly, no histrionics, no clever play, just put England in an impregnable position. South Africa, well, they tried hard, but all they can hope for now is a draw, and that will not be easy. Their best chance of making a draw of the game is to bat all day tomorrow and save the follow-on. England are rampant, and it will take all South Africa's resolve to bat tomorrow through.
Plenty of positive things for England there from Geoffrey Boycott, and tomorrow we're on air in Grandstand, BBC One, at 10:55 a.m. for the 3rd day of this Cornhill Test match. And a lot of very, very good cricket to be played still. England have done well so far. And once again, there's a touch of controversy around in a test match. And that stems from the remarks yesterday evening from the England captain, Michael Atherton, when he was talking about the gutter press. I'd just like to place on record that as a journalist for the past 36 years and a working journalist, I take the greatest possible exception to being put in a bracket with gutter press. Now, there's a lot of cricket to be played with England on top at the moment. And Alex Stewart is the man we leave you with now. He had a great day today. England, in turn, had a wonderful day. The cricket-loving Yorkshire public keep the turnstiles clicking on the Saturday of the Headingley Test. Record gate receipts of over £1 million are expected over the 5 days, and as usual, there's been a heavy international presence among the thousands at this famous ground. Yesterday they saw England's batsmen hammer out what they hope will be a match-winning total. Today they'll expect homegrown hero Darren Gough and the rest of the bowling attack to give the South Africans an uncomfortable time as they bid to level this Cornhill Test series. Well, welcome to the highlights. The South Africans face a very, very difficult task today. 278 is the figure for saving the follow-ons as far as they're concerned, but the England bowlers will give them a torrid time out there, and if the fielding is first class, then England will be in a very, very comfortable position. This is the way it started off on the 3rd morning. The South Africans 446 runs behind. England 477 for 9 declared. I thought the declaration might just have come a little earlier than that, but They picked up the 1 wicket there at a cost of 31, and Darren Gough was in tremendous form and is being cheered on by this Headingley crowd. The pitch, well, there'll be problems there, I reckon, as the day goes on. And here's Geoffrey Boycott to tell us more about that.
Well, third day and a splendid morning for cricket. Nice straw-coloured pitch, still very dry. Bounce of the ball, occasionally high, sometimes fairly lowish. This is what will happen at Headingley. If it hits a crack, it'll die. You've got these poor-looking footholes here. You can see them. Great big footholes of Farney de Villiers. It's a little bit full to bowl into for the spinners, Phil Tufnell and Graham Hick, but it will still be in the batsman's mind. These are more about the length. If you could just hit the corners of these, they could put a few funny thoughts into the left-hander's mind. But it's going to be the seamers first up. We have a look at these cracks. They're not as pronounced this morning because it's been very overcast and the sun's just come out. South Africa will be pleased about that, but you can see here what's happening to one of the cracks. I think there's been a bit of hanky-panky here by the England batsmen, a few stud marks and a bit of tapping, normal cricket gamesmanship, shall we say. But those, you see, that's what will happen more and more. If the sun stays out, if the pitch dries more, all these cracks and these little areas will become more pronounced, and certainly that will help the England bowlers. But for South Africa, they'll be pleased that at least the sun's out, because then it's a little bit better for batting. But they better bat well.
Indeed, that is the case as far as the South Africans are concerned. For England, they need to make a fast start. We join play now with the third ball of the day. De Freitas is the bowler. Gary Kirsten, the left-hander, is taking straight.
That's it. De Freitas strikes in the first over. Gary Kirsten has gone outside edge, well taken by Steve Rhodes. And so it's 31 for 2. Well, let's hear from Geoff Boycott.
Morning, everybody. Well, this was a beauty. Oh, the length of the line was magnificent. I mean, as an opening batsman, that is one sort of ball you really don't want to play early on. Well, watch the line and the length. You've got to play at that. Bounced and carried. Didn't play it badly. I suppose you could say, well, every time you nicked the ball, you certainly didn't play it well, but I really don't think you can complain as any batsman at that. I mean, he's played forward. He's got to play. The ball leaves him. It's on a super length and line.
Hansi Cronje is the new batsman. Bowling, first ball. Hansi Cronje bowled first ball. 31 for 3. What a start to today's cricket. The look on Railingham's face will tell you that England, in the shape of De Freitas, are on hat-trick.
Well, England are on fire here this morning. They're doing what we kept saying the first 2 days, that this pitch still produces good balls. He's late on this, is Hansi Cronje. He's late in getting forward. He leaves the gap as well, and it's clean as you're gone. It was more a tentative push, though, wasn't it? He really didn't play with great conviction at it. I mean, you see, he fell forward after the shot. It's one of those beautiful delivery. I mean, really, right in the slot first up. He's bowled two magnificent deliveries to them. I mean, full credit to the bowling.
De Freitas on a hat-trick. Kepler Wessels, the South African captain. Well, and you never quite know with Kepler Wessels whether he actually plays at the ball or lets it go by, but it was a beautiful ball, good line, good length. No play. That's very well played. We refer to Dave Richardson as the night watchman, but he's quite an accomplished batsman. And that was expertly played down and through the gully, 4 runs.
Yes, as Tony says, this was cleverly played. It was almost a late cut, almost back cut, waiting for it to come on. Just chopping it away past gully.
Another chopping shot. And Darren Gough really hasn't found line or length. Oh, well bowled, that one again. Just pitched in the right area. A little bit of movement.
Yes, it was. And watch the bounce, though. Look how that just doesn't carry even to Stephen Rose. I mean, we saw the wicket go down of the left-hander, Gary Kirsten. That carried easily to the keeper. And this is what causes problems for batsmen.
Oh, that was in the air, but wide of gully. But the positioning of the third man was interesting too, because he was almost there for the slash square cut shot.
Wow, this is a really poor shot. It's a poor shot for the situation they're in, having lost 2 early wickets.
What was going on there? What on earth was going on? He's asked for the replay. A lot of drama here. Umpire Shepherd has asked the third umpire, Chris Balderstone, for anything he can see and look at. This is what he'll be looking at. Richardson, who'd seen no danger at all, suddenly does. There's the ball in the gloves. There goes the dive in the bat. And there goes the ball onto the stumps. And that's it. He's been given in. That's away. Kepler Wessels is a very difficult man to bowl to. Often leaves the bat locked behind the pad. Very little back lift. Push and prod, and suddenly a loose delivery, and this.
It's always been one of his favourite areas through the offside. When it's a little bit short and wide of off stump, he's always been a very strong cutter of the ball. And more so than on his debut for Australia against England. He hasn't lost the knack. What he's done over the years has become just a bit more selective.
And there again, it's just clinical. Very little backlift, no great flourish of a follow-through.
But nonetheless, no lack of power either. It's all a question of getting the weight into the right place.
See that backlift there? It's only hip height. Dropped him. Michael Atherton.
Well, it's that line again. It's wide of off stump, and Wessels drawn into playing it. Could easily have left that one alone. Was very wide of off stump, but fortune smiled on him. Nice catchable height for Michael Atherton at third slip. The angle bat almost really saying, have a go at catching that. Didn't have to go very far to his left, Michael Atherton, round about the left knee.
He just cannot give Wessels room. With only 4 bowlers, it's vital for Michael Atherton that Fraser settles into something better than this. That's better. It is for Richardson anyway. Rare near half volley from De Freitas. Oh, that's close. And again doing too much apparently. But again Richardson being pegged on the back foot.
Well, that was a better delivery in the sense that not only did it keep low, but it also cut back into Dave Richardson. He's got to check the possibilities there, and it could just be that he's got outside the line of off stump there. He gets well across, Dave Richardson.
Philip Tufnell, the bowler. Kepler Wessels taking strike. The problem Tufnell will induce out there, bowling into the rough outside the left-hander stumps.
That area has been discussed at length already, and you could see the little puff of dust.
Oh, in the face. That's one of the problems for wicket keepers, the ball coming out of the rough. Batsmen wear helmets. Difficult for the keeper to do so.
Flap of the pads involved there too. It's a wicket-keeper's nightmare, that, with batsmen padding up. Just altering the trajectory of the ball straight in the face. The right flap. This bang, straight between the eyes, on the forehead. Perhaps the best place it could have hit him.
That a tremendous belt away through cover. It was into the half volley slot, and David Richardson played it quite beautifully. Very quick to seize on it. He's gone to 48.
Full and nice and wide. Full flow of the arms. 4 runs.
Wow, that's a grubber. An old-fashioned mully grubber. And it's done for David Richardson. I don't know anyone in the world who could have played that. Played a night watchman. .48 for Richardson, a very good knock. What a delivery.
The lowness of it accentuated by the height of the bowler, but that's the lowest we've seen to date. Straight along the ground. It's hit the stump about 1.5 inches up from the base. You just need a bat that's 3 feet longer.
Peter Kirsten is the new batsman. Well, as a wicket-keeper, what do you do?
Get a boot on it. That's their only chance.
100's up, now 3 for 4.
Caught him. Crucial wicket. Wessels goes for 25, caught by Crawley. 105 for 5.
Well, again, good reactions from John Crawley at short leg. You seldom have anything more than a split second to judge the ball there. It was pushed towards him by Kepler Wessels. It wasn't an inside edge onto pad that lobbed up. It was pushed off the face of the bat. And Crawley in the thick of things there. Off it goes. It's high on the bat, and that means it's taken the face off. It wasn't pushed off the meat by a long way. Nevertheless, John Crawley in there. This is never easy. You can see the adjustments he had to make. When he first saw it, he'd have been thinking that ball's coming a lot more quickly. Managed to keep his head, got his hands in the right place. He's delighted, no surprises there. 105 now for 5. Still a long way short of that follow-on figure of 278.
There goes Rhodes.
Lovely shot from Jonty Rhodes, beautifully timed.
4 more runs added to take it along to 122 for 5 at lunch. That's a terrific morning for England. Hudson out yesterday evening for 9. Kirsten for 7 this morning. And then Hansi Cronje without scoring. Richardson, very good 48 from him, and Vessels 25. And Kirsten and Rhodes each on 9. 122 for 5, and the bowling figures. Gough 1 for 56 from 11. Expensive, but he picked up that wicket yesterday evening. De Freitas, great performance this morning. 12 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 18. Fraser, 2 for 30 from 8 overs and 1 maiden. And Tufnell has bowled pretty well there. Looks to me as though he's bowling with great confidence. But a terrific morning for the England side, led by Michael Atherton. We turn play after lunch in the second over. 3 runs have been added. Darren Gough is the bowler. Peter Kirsten is taking strike. Beautiful stroke. Lovely back foot cover drive. Perfect timing and placement.
Right foot back and across. Good flow of the arms. 4 almost as soon as he hit it.
It was almost premeditated. They also not have been quite as short as he expected.
Short of a length. Rhodes quickly onto. He's got very quick hands, Jonty Rhodes, and a good eye.
Now he's been pulled away to the boundary quite beautifully by Jonty Rhodes on 2 occasions. First time went out to the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4. That one for 6. It was a no ball as well. And that adds a lot of illness to the injury.
Philip Tufnell, the bowler. Beautiful stroke. Well, that's the very best we've seen of Peter Kirsten. Lovely footwork, sweet contact with the bat, and we're watching a very important partnership here between Peter Kirsten and Jonty Rhodes.
Lovely shot. Nicely released there. A man who's not a great top-hand player, Jonty Rhodes at times, he really does open the face nicely and place the ball well.
Steve Dunn looking as though he's never seen Concord before. He has now.
Tufnell to bowl to Rhodes. That's the danger area around Thorpe there.
Called.
This will be sore. Hardly a batsman in this game who hasn't capitalised on the leg stump half volley, Midland leg half volley. Peter Kirsten's no exception. Turn of the wrists.
94 runs for Peter Kirsten and Rhodes. Next best was Richardson and Vessels, 60. Darren Gough. That was fast, and it's taken a wicket. That was one very, very quick delivery. Jonty Rhodes was waiting. Now he's looking at his arm to indicate that it didn't actually come off his glove. I hope that that's going to be the opinion of the 19,126 people here today.
Very, very fast delivery. Too quick for me to tell what it hit. Fairly smashed into Stephen Rhodes' gloves.
$199 for 6. Brian McMillan to take strike. There's another thing we can tell you about Gough, that he can get himself fired up fairly quickly. That's not uncommon among fast bowlers, mind you. Low 5 for 6, South Africa. $205 for 6 at tea, and that has the makings of a very good score for South Africa. They've done well now with Kirsten hanging in there. He's taken 1 or 2 blows, but he's 50 not out. Rhodes out for 46, and there was a good partnership between Richardson and Wessels, and then the one between Kirsten and Rhodes. 205 for 6, and the bowling figures for England: Gough 2 wickets, and De Freitas 2, Fraser also 2. We join play now in the first over after tea. Darren Gough is the bowler. Peter Kirsten is taking strike.
Hit him, and that looks quite serious. This is what happened. It was from Darren Gough, and that's hit him absolutely square on the side of the head. Down he went, and immediately Steve Rhodes signalled for assistance. Let's look at it from this angle. And that was the third ball of the first over after tea. Well, he went after that. A change of pace, a bit of width in it. It was clubbed away rather than timed, but that outfield's quickened up, so they've got 3, and McMillan looking for a 4th and getting it. Super shot. On the up, and trusted the bounce, played through it.
Yes, he took a little bit of a chance. It was a lovely sweet flow of the bat. Didn't rush the shot at all. Lovely flow.
Insult to injury. It's cost 4 runs as well. Beautiful straight. Just waited on that. A little bit of patience. Had to be a loose ball at some stage, and that was it. Very well dealt with.
First really bad ball that Tufnell's bowled. Unforgiving pitch in terms of length if you pitch a bit too short, bowling slowly. Macmillan executes the shot perfectly. But a rare bad delivery from Tufnell.
Another good shot off the back foot by Brian Macmillan. Good running. Kirsten came through very quickly for the third. Good fielding also from De Freitas. Get one or two of his hamstrings loosened up a little. Good shot. Excellent footwork.
Handy little flurry of runs for South Africa here prior to the second new ball. Kirsten down the wicket, nicely balanced when he gets there. Good follow through, beautifully played.
Not a stroke you see Peter Kirsten play all the time, but quite prepared to have a dash at De Freitas. And those are very valuable runs. They're wiping off the scoreboard as it stands and the follow-on mark. 2:49 now for 6. Well-timed stroke.
Fine shot. Races away down the hill there. Fine shot because he waited so long. At the last minute, beautiful shot. Late behind square. There's an example of the cover drive. So easy, such an easy swing of the bat.
Oh, that was a great shot. Just wait till he's judged the length. This is what you can do when you're set. And just gets those hands through the ball nicely. No real effort.
Beautiful timing. I'm sure Graham Gooch thought as he let it go, very gentle pace, so that's all right. Middle and leg, even middle.
Yes, Peter Kirsten did well really to work it and place it so well into the gap there.
Cracking shot. And that's been the truth of this pitch right from the start. If you do bowl it very short, it stands up and asks to be hit, and Peter Kirsten got stuck into that.
If you're going to bowl it short, you need to put it in with a bit more effort than that.
Super shot. You can't be surprised about Peter Kirsten when that happens, and neither should Darren Brough be surprised. He's played that shot consistently well throughout this innings. And so Peter Kirsten now goes into the 90s for the first time in his Test career. 93 not out.
And that is it. Follow-on save. So that's only a bit of the job done. Proctor will be relieved at that. Well, Goss looks astonished. Strong man shot that.
Well, he was. The placement was so good. Maybe he was a little bit uppish, but he played it into the gap, past the bowler, in between the wide mid-on. Never really got near Graham Gooch, just because it went uppish. Darren Gough thought for a fraction of a second, well, that just might be a catch, but it was really well played.
Sharp. takes Kirsten to the brink, 98. Oh, what a shot. All of them, 6. Footwork and pivot were absolutely superb.
Yes, I think he'd made up his mind. If he got anything short, he was going for it.
That takes him to 99. Brings up to 300. Oh, what a shot from McMillan. Can this man hit? That's 50. When you're coming to the closing minutes of a day, you usually try to play out time and you're sure you can start again tomorrow. Well, he might. But even so, we've had 2 6s from him in the last few deliveries. Well, Michael Atherton has got a problem with the ball. Umpire Balderstone coming out. This might be quite a tricky one to change. It's only had just over 11 overs use, but just brushed up against a bit of concrete twice from McMillan in the last 10 minutes. Kirsten's going into the act. Not sure he's totally happy.
No, it always worries batsmen, I can tell you, when the bowlers want to change the ball. It's usually they change it for a better ball.
De Freitas, the bowler. He's got it. He's there. Punches the air. First Test 100 and the 53rd first-class 100 of a wonderful career.
Well, that is a superb performance, not just the getting of the century, but when it was needed by his country. That's the importance of it.
Could be out. And is, and finally he goes 314 now for 7, and Peter Kirsten caught by Alex Stewart off the bowling of Philip de Freitas. What a reception you'll get. But a team man as he is, he looks desolate that he's got out so close to the end of play.
But that was a good ball. I kept saying that Philip de Freitas makes things happen. This just bounced a little bit on him. Just a touch. He might have played just a little bit low. Tiredness creeps in towards the end of a day. There was no gully at backward point. Could just get in and catch it.
Oh, could have been the other one. Often happens after a big partnership. One man goes and so does the other. That partnership was worth 115. Would have been a miracle catch. But they are held.
Almost reward there for Philip Tufnell, but not to be. McMillan finished up 57 not out. A very good hand from him. Craig Matthews is the man who came in to survive to the end of the day. 22 extras, 318 for 7. And the bowling figures for England: 2 for Gough, 3 for de Freitas, who bowled pretty well again today, but his outswinger working, and Fraser, 2 for 65 from 22 overs and 3 maidens, also bowled well. Tufnell, a bit better than that, I thought, finished up with no wickets, and that's the state of play after the 3 days here at Headingley. South Africa, 159 runs behind, England 477 for 9, and South Africa in reply, 318 for 7. And here now with his ideas on the day's play, Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, it was a wonderful seesawing day's cricket for the spectators. Early on, it was all England, with some very aggressive, fast-medium bowling. They broke the back of the South African batting. But at lunch, when England thought they had it made, in came the South Africans. The South Africans that mattered, the man of the moment, Peter Kirsten. He's had a lot of experience on English pitches by playing many years at Derbyshire, and he used it all today. He played a super innings, determined, gutsy, a lot of application. He took some knocks on the body, one on the head, and above all, a lot of ability. He was helped by a couple of the other middle order players, but all in all, they'll feel really happy tonight that they got out of jail and they didn't have to follow on. The pitch is still playing tricks, one or two low balls, high balls, some off the seam, so there's still something there for England. What they have to do is clear out the tail early in the morning, get some quick runs, and get South Africa into bat again.
A lot of work still to be done by South Africa there, according to Geoffrey Boycott. And we'll be on air tomorrow in this second Cornhill Test match, the fourth day, in Grandstand BBC 2 at 10:55 a.m. We've had 3 fascinating days so far, tremendous cricket in front of big crowds, another one promised for tomorrow, and a good weather forecast. We leave you tonight at the end of the third day with Brian McMillan and Peter Kirsten. They put on 115 just when the South Africans were right on the rack, and they deservedly shared in the plaudits of the day. A debut century in Test match for Peter Kirsten and Brian McMillan, a tremendous performance. Yesterday, a wonderful 104 by Peter Kirsten and a great 115-run partnership between Kirsten and Brian McMillan inspired a South African fight-back that thwarted England's ambitions of enforcing the follow-on. Today, England must find similar inspiration if they're to press home their advantage. Beginning the fourth day, England certainly had an advantage, 159 runs in the lead. This is the way it looked at the start of the fourth day. 477 for 9 England, South Africa 318 for 7, just 3 wickets to take, and just confirming that South Africa are 159 runs behind. The pitch will play its part today, and here's Geoffrey Boycott with his report.
Fourth day's play, and a very nice overcast morning if you're a bowler. The bounce, that won't change. Nice bounce sometimes. Then when it hits a crack or two, it keeps low like that. So for batting, it's always going to be a little bit of a problem. These cracks have opened. You have a look here at the crazy paving. You can see the cracks. And what happens is, as the bowlers hit the edge of the cracks, they start to disintegrate a little bit. You see, this one's gone into an inch triangle. The ball hits these areas and keeps on repeatedly hitting them. The ball will die very, very low. Occasionally, it might even jump at the batsman. We go further along, you can see 1 or 2 more cracks here. Really strong cracks. They're going at the edges. Very much so. Look at this one. This one you can see the red of the ball hitting, the red marks here. This one's gone into a triangle, it's been hit. And it makes it more and more interesting. The bowlers always feel that they're in the game with this sort of atmosphere, these cracks, the edges going. I think on a day like today, overcast, cloudy, I prefer to be a bowler rather than a batsman.
Well, it certainly seems as though there'll be something there for the bowlers today. England need 3 quick wickets, and we join it with the first ball of the day. Fraser is the bowler, and Craig Matthews is taking strike. That's a very good start for South Africa. Just an ordinary little defensive push. And Angus Fraser is bewildered by it.
Well, it's a very gentle loosener. Only about medium pace, if you could call it that.
It's through the gap and beautifully timed.
Yeah, it's a little bit of puzzlement there for Philip de Freitas. It may be that he's not too keen on this football stand end. Short of a length. Tips away off the back foot. Nice shot.
He's gone from 8 to 12 with a delightful stroke. Very much an offside player. Doesn't do very much at all on the leg side, but offside, drive and through that point area.
Well, if he plays shots like this, he doesn't need to hit it on the onside. He's really creamed it through the covers, on the up. Well, he's just flashed another one. Philip de Freitas, I'm sorry, he just does not look comfortable to me at this football ground end.
There it is again. I think someone will have to start putting their mind to the job out there of how to deal with Matthews, otherwise he'll keep on dealing with England.
Substitute fielder for Graham Gooch, who went off with a pulled hamstring. Richard Stemp.
Good shot. He's a good belligerent character. Well, this is a great start for South Africa this morning.
They come out playing the same way as yesterday, that they know there are going to be some good balls from the bowlers, but if they get anything to hit, they're going to play normal cricket.
Well, just a question of how long it does take the penny to drop out there. For a start, you could put a man back on the boundary if you know that this batsman has two main shots. One is the one just played there, and the other one is off the back foot through the same area. Then you could put a man back on the boundary, cut off the 4, just allow him the single, and still let him go for the shot, and you could have another man in catching position. Well, now we've got a man at gully, just come in now. Or more.
There's something rather laboured about it all this morning. That's a good start by Tufnell. And that's what you need. You need good supporting fielding. Bit of a grimace there. Maybe he's in trouble as well. There's a full toss. Gough aiming for that in-swinging Yorker. Partnership built up of 54. That's a brilliant take by Steve Rhodes.
Very athletic. Just a deflection off McMillan's body.
Still looking for that Yorker, but it's not coming. Drifted into a full toss again, and that was easily worked away by Matthews on the leg side for 4 runs through a big gap at the wicket, and that's exactly where England are losing it. Just too many balls that are hittable. Nothing complicated about that stroke at all. Just had to ease it.
Very high full toss, knee high. Just needed placing, didn't needed hitting. The speed of Gough's bowling did the rest. Beautiful stroke. Didn't keep running. Superb stroke from McMillan. And that's not a big scoring area for him. Good off his legs, good square off the back foot. Nothing wrong with that either.
So the problems here for Michael Atherton. The game is within this first 50 minutes running away from England, not even drifting away, it's running away from England, and so he turns to Philip Tufnell. Terrific shot. Caught many a mile. I think it's fair to say he didn't get quite to the pitch of it, but therefore decided simply to follow through. Oops. Shortage of skill up there next to the cameras, but wonderful blow that was.
Stood absolutely still, hit through the line, and bonked it. Oh, it climbed its way up. Hit the slope of the front roof.
A lot of optimism in that one, but it may well bring Matthews his 50. It's his highest test score, and it does. Half century there for Craig Matthews. Warmly applauded around the ground. He really has played well. And very much appreciated by the South African dressing room. 50 from 46 balls, so he hasn't been hanging around too much. Oh, bowled in! Amazing! Astonishing! Brian McMillan was absolutely certain that he'd blocked the path of that with body and pads. And the next thing we saw were bails flying everywhere. This is what happened, Robin.
He's perfectly happy to allow the ball to hit him on the pad. That's gone through his legs, not round.
Partnership of 77. And that brings to the crease Fani de Villiers.
Tossed up. Everybody's looking how far. It's another one. Straight through off the glove of Rhodes. Nothing much is going right for England. The last 100 runs for South Africa to get from 300 to 400 just came off 117 balls. That's under 20 overs for 100 runs in Test cricket by the lower order. That's some going. Two and three there. It might even be four. David, not only are England's winning chances being lessened with every run, but also the possibility of them actually being embarrassed into something else is growing.
I really want to consider that. It's the sort of pitch, I was talking last night to Mike Proctor. You can get stumped on if you go down the track and miss it. It's a nice dismissal for Phil Tufnell. Nice, clean, easy take by Steve Rhodes, very clinically taken that. Fani de Villiers was a long way down, looking for his cross on top of the football stand this time, wasn't content with just dropping it into the first tier. Real big haymaking swing that was. Just having a look there at Steve Rhodes under complete control. Nicely taken. It's a nice easy stumping that, in the sense you get a clear view of the ball. No batsman really in the way. I always prefer it to be turning outside the bat like that as a wicket-keeper.
So, Alan Donald has come into bat, and he's got a runner. You can see the extended crease lines, broken, being taken out either side of the pitch. That's to help the umpires. Got him. Well, limp or no limp, there's a middle to the bat.
Well, as long as you keep your eye on the ball, and Alan Donald did that very well, even a shot like this can be very productive. Really middled it.
Not sure whether he was happy that his runner ran two or not. Saw him last night and I said it's a front foot wicket, and he said, well, actually when I get there I don't think I'll get too many in my half.
Well, I suspect you've got two choices here, short or Yorker. Take your pick.
Few inches short of the Yorker length.
And short enough and quick enough for umpire Shepherd just to make the required signal. That's the one for the over. Not so difficult to deal with when they bounce that high. Even Alan Donald, who's a tall man, got the flinch out early, but it cleared him nicely.
Slower one. Taken two more. Not sure whether Donald's involved in this calling or not. He's got three more balls to face.
Well, he'd have done better just following through with that shot. As it was, finally just escaped Michael Atherton. I'm afraid that was a bit of a grovel at the end there.
Out of field changings, De Freitas, who's out for the miss hook. I'm not sure that's in Donald's repertoire, but he's now gone to short extra cover. I'll take that. That was a good shot.
Well, obviously Alan Donald has come in as the senior partner in this final partnership. He must have realised that Craig Matthews has done his bit.
That's a long chase for the man at slip, Graham Hick. And a fruitless one.
Not quite off the meat of the bat, but with enough power to get past a sprawling Angus Fraser first. And Graham Hick realising very quickly that Angus Fraser had no real intentions of getting up to his feet too quickly. Well, that's the first time that Angus Fraser has put it into the slot for Alan Donald. That's the same way he was playing against Darren Gough. Very simple swing and a very effective swing. Good follow through. The one thing Alan Donald does well when he decides to attack is he keeps his eye on the ball. He doesn't let the swing carry him away too early.
That's it. It is all over. Finally, Donald goes. Caught for 27. South Africa all out for 447. John Crawley taking the catch. So a deficit of exactly 30.
Alan Donald less comfortable as a batsman when you tuck him up towards the leg side. Flicks it away off his hips there. John Crawley just had to come forward a little bit, get his hands underneath it, and that was that.
There we are, South Africa all out, 30 runs adrift.
The South Africans did a terrific job there, 447. When play began early in the morning, it was all money that they'd be bowled out within, say, half an hour. 447 in all, and Matthews, a lovely innings from him, following on his success at Lord's with the bat. 62 not out there. De Villiers made 13, Donald 27, and a splendid partnership between Matthews and Donald for the last wicket. Donald needed a runner out there, but it was all South Africa in that first session. They carried the attack to England, and the bowling for England show that. Gough 2 for 153, De Freitas 4 for 89 was the best, and bowled best as well. Fraser 2 for 92, and Tufnell 2 for 81 from 32 overs and 13 maidens. So a terrific effort from the South Africans. They laid the challenge down for England. We join play now in the second over of England's second innings. Gooch is the batsman, McMillan the bowler.
He doesn't want much over 100 to get to 40,000 first-class runs. He certainly started with a rush.
Yes, the key to injuries is whether or not they stop you batting your full extent, your full powers. And that was a lovely ball for Graham Gooch. No real pace, no real bounce, just helped on its way towards the leg side.
That's Darrell Cullinan out there fielding. He'll be the substitute fielder for Alan Donald. Fine shot. Plays that shot so well. Plays it with a straight bat. That's the interesting thing about Mike Atherton when he plays square in the offside. Others would choose to play square cut, perhaps.
Now the ball to come to him. Owned it beautifully away behind square. For 4.
McMillan to Gooch. Well, that was very fortunate indeed. Brian McMillan gives him the stare.
Can't have fielders everywhere, particularly in this situation. Vessels will be wary of the fact that doesn't want runs scored too quickly.
A short one again, and that's bumped away by Gooch, brilliantly stopped by Fine de Villiers and the long leg boundary.
Very hard by Gooch. De Villiers has to go to his left very quickly and use a dive. After all that, there's only one.
Oh, what a ball. Well, Mike Atherton must have been astonished to miss that. Almost hit a hole, or it certainly bounced in an extraordinary way and left him off the pitch. Big shout for LBW there as Gooch puts his foot right across the line of the ball. Didn't get far down the pitch. It was a very good shout indeed.
De Villiers battles to get LBWs. He's let that go from so wide of the crease. Fair to assume that would have missed leg stump. If he could get closer, I'm sure he would get more wickets.
That's the one where you start saying great shot, but I suppose if he'd got the outside edge without moving his feet, there would have been some criticism, but he certainly got off the middle of the bat. Ah, that's brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Michael Atherton goes. A fine catch. Good anticipation. There's nothing easy about that. You've got to go forward and sideways. It was mainly a sideways dismissal, but he had to get forward as well, and it's very, very awkward out there in the covers or in any position for that matter. Good catch. Graham Hicks, the new batsman. And it's the same thing. He's going down the leg side and he's very wide on the bowling crease.
Very clear on the replay. All the stumps visible by the time he finished. Ball comfortably on its way down past leg stump.
Leading Rhodes can't get to that. The poor end to the over from De Villiers.
This was a nice juicy half volley thrown up there. And it's a lovely pitch to play your shots on. It doesn't hit the crack. And Graham Gooch is right. He's taking advantage. He gets anything to score off, he's going to take it.
And you get one like that.
That's right, you see, because you're always going to keep the bowler interested at Headingley like that. So Graham Hick, who's one not out, he gets a ball like this, bounces, leaves him. That's a beauty.
Well, he's gone for it. I mean, it was quite what he was setting out to do, Geoffrey. Brings up the 50.
It went up a long time. It stayed up in the air a long time. Just turned on him. He was trying to hit it to long off. That's his favourite area. A little turn, and he dragged it over mid-on.
That's what he wanted. More to the pitch of that. 6. Takes him into double figures.
Yes, he managed to get this where he wanted it. Long off's his favourite area. Long on, he hits as well.
Graham Gooch, rather surprisingly, opening the innings with a runner. Philip de Freitas doing duty. And got him out, right on the stroke of tea. And Craig Matthews gets a wicket. And now, suddenly, England's problems start. Gooch gone, nicely taken by Richardson. 57 for 2, Gooch out for 27.
Well, I feel that Craig Matthews deserved that wicket. He's bowled some really quality line and length bowling for the last few overs. And no disgrace from Graham Gooch. The line was right in that corridor, just outside off stump. Made him play forward defensive. It left him a touch. And that was thoroughly deserved. Quality bowling. He really earned that wicket.
That's a real blow for England. Gooch going there just before tea. And South Africa once again have carried the honours of a session. Gooch out for 27, Atherton previously dismissed for 17, and Hick on 12 with Thorpe just about to join him. The bowling for South Africa, they did very well. They haven't got Alan Donald out there. He's injured, and Tim Shaw is out there fielding for him. And also they have a second sub on, the man who took the catch to dismiss Atherton. That's Darryl Cullinan. De Villiers 1 for 20 from 10 overs, 2 maidens. McMillan, 3 overs, no maiden, no wicket for 15. And Matthews, very good spell. 9.3 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 12. He's having a terrific day out there, Craig Matthews. Well, we join play now with McMillan bowling to the new batsman, Graham Thorpe. Matthews has finished his over, the one that was incomplete after Gooch's dismissal, and this is the 4th complete over after tea. That's a good stroke. Andrews again. He didn't quite find that one as well, but it's still going to beat the fielder without the slightest problem. Two good shots. Straight. Great timing. That's 3 boundaries of real quality here from Graham Thorpe.
Just on the square, or just in front.
Lovely little cuts. That was a gorgeous shot.
All a question of just using the pace of the ball, what little there is from the medium pacer, and beautifully guided. Third man was very wide.
Well, took his eye off it.
Not the first time in this game, and almost identically in the same fashion as with Peter Kirsten, who got smacked quite hard by Darren Gough on the way to his 100.
And that's a better shot. Only got a handful of runs since tee. Prior to that, went in there 12 not out. That 4 means he scored 9 since the interval. He's a great boundary batsman.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Wonderful. It's a good shot anyway, but the fact you get the feeling he's looking for it.
Yes, it's not anticipation as such, it's just awareness and reaction.
That's a quick one. Rhodes. Well, they really took on Jonty Rhodes there. Terrific acceleration into the ball and pick up and throw so quick. See the acceleration into the ball and the throw. Oh, that would have been out. Had he hit, that would have been out. Oh, dropped him. Beautiful slower delivery. Very well bowled and got Graham Hick into the drive, the full flow of the bat. Just didn't stick.
Well, you could say here that Fanny de Villiers was a bit unlucky that he didn't stick. You could also say that he's lucky that he didn't break a finger, because this was hit back quite hard. The bowler following through, he stuck a hand out, and anything could happen there. The ball could just be lucky enough to stick or unlucky enough to break your finger.
Good fielding, another slower ball. I think he was ready for the return catch that time. Red card. That's a good shot. Runs are coming now. This is not a good over, and England really have cashed in. You say that Graham Hick likes to play the big shots rather than the delicate ones, and a rank long hop helps him to do just that.
very happy up there. Nice timing. That's on to the roll pitches that will move pretty quickly.
Good stroke off the back foot from Hick. Big tall man. Makes it just a little bit easier to play the stroke. Now, when shall I dive? I think now. Oh dear. Didn't need either fielder for that. Beautiful stroke. It's again the bowler allowing the left-hander lots of width and room to let his arms go right through the stroke. Super.
Graham Hick will take that.
That must have gone very, very close to the stumps. Let's see how close this gets. Oh, past the off stump.
Now, 2 half-centuries in the same test match. That's good performance. Recalled to the England side. A lot of Australians who have a high regard for his cricket, particularly the ones from whom he took a debut century last year. 5 more runs added to take England's final total at the end of the 4th day up to 144 for 2. It's a nice even-looking scorecard. Gooch out for 27 just before tea, Atherton previously for 17, and then Hick and Thorpe carried things through to the end, 48 and 51 not out. I thought that was a very good performance from Graham Thorpe. 72 in the first innings and unbeaten on 51 in the second. The bowling figures for the South Africans, they're struggling there without Alan Donald as the spearhead. De Villiers 1 for 37 in 15. McMillan's had 47 taken from 11. Matthews was the best of all, 17 overs, 7 maidens and 1 for 27. Kirsten, 2 overs, 1 maiden, none for 10, and then Oblivion. And Cronje, 10 overs, 3 maidens, none for 23. State of the game after 4 days. South Africa did wonderfully well in the first session today, where they made 124 and then got up to 447 all out. That may deny England victory, but England have a lead of 174 runs, and here with his views on the day is Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, at the start of play, England had the chance to take this game by the scruff of the neck. We all expected them to come out and make things happen, but they had one of the worst mornings play that they've had for a long time. It was a very lacklustre display. Some of the bowlers were put on at the wrong end, some of the bowling changes were poor, the field places were not what we expected, and suddenly the game was running away from England with runs coming galore for South Africa. We expected more fire and aggression from the bowlers, and it just didn't happen, and by lunch the game had gone. I think England will feel tonight that it was a lost opportunity. It just went, and the game drifted on too long in the afternoon.
And I still think it could be an intriguing last day. 174 ahead England at the moment, and 3 sessions to play. There's 90 overs for the players to get through, so there could be things happen on... The South Africans warm up for the final day of this second Cornhill Test match at Headingley. On Saturday morning, few would have given them a chance of extending the match into the 5th day, but they showed great fighting qualities and produced some brilliant attacking play, which could still see them go to the Oval with a 1-0 lead in the series. It all depends, in fact, on how England approach it on this final morning in the first session. Graham Thorpe and Graham Hick played very well yesterday evening. They have to push on a great deal this morning, and the timing of the declaration will be all important, as indeed will be the state of the pitch and whether or not it assists the England bowlers. Here's Geoffrey Boycott with his report.
Last morning, and I've got Keith Boyce, the head groundsman here. Now, Keith, players, spectators and media all worry about the Headingley pitch before they get here. What do you think of this one?
Start of the last day, nearly 1,000 runs, average 50 runs per batsman. I'm not complaining.
Good. Now, why do all the cracks appear at Headingley?
Well, it's just unique to Headingley. You were amazed yesterday how easy it played, and I think that was because we'd overcast and absorbed a little bit of moisture, and it just played easy.
And you're not going to stop the cracks appearing, not going to try and get rid of them at all?
I've been trying that for the past 12, 14 years, and I haven't succeeded yet, so...
Right, let's have a look at your pitch this morning, then. We see here we've got all these cracks. They haven't got any worse over the last couple of days. You see the crazy paving, where you get the low balls. But this is what'll interest England. These sort of marks for Philip Tufnell, maybe Graham Hick. You see how the cracks have gone now, a real big patch there. This is about 10 feet. 10 feet from the popping crease, so it's only 1.5 feet. A touch short of a length, not much. That should interest the spinners very much. I think Philip Tufnell and Graham Hick have got to play a part today. But the seamers will still have something to aim at. All these cracks here, the ends are going, little cracks coming. If the England seamers can bowl the ball in the right spot today, not like yesterday, then England could still make things happen, and things a little bit tough for the South Africans this afternoon.
Well, it could be tough for the South Africans, but that's the way the game started on the final morning, with England 174 runs ahead, and in their second innings 144 for 2, with Thorpe on 51 and Hick on 48. We join play now in the fourth over. 5 runs have been added. Craig Matthews is the bowler. Graham Hick has taken strike, and he's within 1 of his half-century.
That's 50. He's 950 in addition to that 100 he got against India. Got one. Long last. A really loose delivery.
Well, at least Graham Thorpe found the gap. Even this one wasn't perfectly timed. Just short of a length. In Graham Thorpe, just enough room to get that cut out.
Slower one. On you. Oh, the first really productive over of the day.
That's a good shot. Ball angled into middle and leg, and Hick prepared to pick it up, hit it away, over the infield. Good stroke.
Very wide on the bowling crease also, which is a habit of Fani de Villiers. It may be that these two batsmen have decided to target Fani. It looks as though Fani is definitely the one they're after.
Recognisable intent now certainly from Hick. Down the wicket quite early, hitting through a length delivery, deliberately over extra cover. Nothing wrong with that.
That's a great shot. They're both getting down to it now. The settling in period early on. The more they can pile on now, the better chance there is of Atherton being able to declare earlier than he may have thought. And again, coming into that calculation is that England need as many overs as possible. Very good on anything short. That's one of the features that impressed me so much with Graham Thorpe. Good back foot player. Lots of fellas around good front foot players, but they're stuck on the back foot. Once again, the on drive, but just cut off there by Matthews. There are 2 good shots there. One that went for 4 through mid-on, and that one stopped by Matthews, or half stopped, and mid-on completed it. No ball called.
Good running. The ball was in Tim Shaw's hand when hit decided on the second. It's quite a long throw, probably the longest part of the field down in that corner. Shaw doesn't have a bullet throw from the boundary, has to get it pretty aerial.
Lovely swing at the back. Won't do Graham Hick any harm at all. It allows him to play what might be loosely termed his natural game.
Long off, put back. He just nudged it over mid-on. Ball is outside off stump. Handsome shot.
You might ask for the third umpire there. They tend to ask for it for anything that's even half close these days. Thorpe, who called for the run. Richardson was very quick. And he's miles out. Miles out. Oh, 193 now.
Disappointing end to what's been a very good and entertaining innings. The ball really hasn't gone very far. I think that maybe Graham Thorpe thought that the ball had fallen almost dead down by the stumps, but it rolled on through to wicketkeeper Richardson. He made no mistake.
The batsman is Alex Stewart. Finally, de Villiers hasn't claimed the wicket there, but the South Africans have. 3 balls in this over gone so far. Nice start for Alex Stewart. Does run away from the fielder just within that last 10 yards.
South African bowler's not learned here. Strong. Stewart is on the onside. This is the first ball he's had this morning. Straight into his stride. Beautifully timed. A long run for Peter Kirsten. There was a time when I think he thought that maybe he might just catch it up. Around about there, and oopsie.
Well, there you are. Graham Hick flips that away on the onside. That's not a shot he would play in a normal course for innings. 4 runs. Nice pick-up off Craig Matthews.
Yes, it's not a test match shot probably, but it's a shot he uses many times for his county Worcester when he's playing one-day cricket. Gets them back on the ball.
There's another one. See, just a line straying a little bit towards leg stump, and a flip shot, and this is Graham Hick at his very best. 6 runs over deep square leg.
This is how he plays for Worcester. When he's in and confident, plays shots. A wonderful four-ball hitter. Give him anything that he fancies. He really is a powerful shot player. Oh, it's a super shot. The man that's just come in. Best shot in the game for me. Safest any youngsters watching. We're going to lift the ball in the air, hit it straight back over the bowler's head.
He hit it a bit high on the bat because it wasn't quite a half volley. It was picked it up off a length, in fact, but very well executed. Fine shot, beautifully placed. The pleasant thing about those three shots from Alex Stewart is they are proper shots. No slogging there. And that last stroke just proved he's in control of his play.
Well, this was a perfect off drive.
Great shot. He flayed that. Square and high, just behind square on the offside. And that's 4 clattering runs. 2-2-2 has David Shepherd hopping about there. Beautifully placed. And McMillan just giving Alex Stewart too much width outside that off stump. Very well indeed to play it so firmly.
Well, it's almost as if the batsman can get ready to play the ball because he knows what it's going to be. Banged in short of a length, wide of off stump. He's missed a couple, he's hit 2. Not very thoughtful bowling.
Will be, you would think, 4, and is. Two balls of the over left. That's it. Century number 2 for England, the 76th of his first-class career, and for almost the first time he's played for England this morning as he's done for Worcestershire throughout his career. Super innings.
Very nicely played indeed. He's organised the tempo of that innings excellently this morning, especially showing the benefit, the value of his play last night. Really has timed that perfectly.
Not sure who's going to fetch that. Somebody a few rows back. Had to be relayed back onto the field from one or two more venerable gentlemen.
Lovely shot. It's that clean, high follow-through. Certainly not a slog. Good carry.
Oh, no. There's been some crackers this morning, but that equals them.
Scintillating stuff from Alex Stewart. Plenty of width, plenty of length. He had to stretch to get to it, but made it into a very powerful shot. Flourish the wrists. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Out. Finally given. LBW tried the shot the previous over, saw the ball bound onto his glove, onto the stumps, No declaration. So Graham Hick walks off, and a big hand from the Yorkshire crowd.
Well, it's been a very fine knock from Graham Hick. And it's a shame there weren't more people here to watch. Can't be expected, I suppose, on a Monday, but those that have seen it will have been well entertained. And John Crawley at the crease now. 5 minutes to go until the normal time for lunch.
And out. McMillan gets a second wicket. Well, you have to feel sorry for John Crawley there. Absolutely nothing to gain at all, coming in for a maximum of 2 or 3 minutes and perishing like that.
Well, yes, I mean, the ball pitched short, inviting the shot. And of course, for the man out in the deep waiting for it, John Crawley's main misfortune was that he hit it straight at deep square leg.
.267 for 5 declared England. 110 for Graham Hick. He struck the ball quite beautifully this morning. I'm hoping that is yet another step in his Test match career. He really looked a good player out there, and so too did Graham Thorpe again with his 73 before being run out. Alex Stewart still in good touch, 36 not out. The bowling figures for the South Africans, well, theirs was a containing action this morning, not just in the length they bowled, but in the time they took to bowl their overs. They lost 6 overs out there. Almost unbelievable that sides can get away with that, but they can under the playing conditions as they are. De Villiers 1 for 98, McMillan 2 for 66, Matthews 1 for 53, and Cronje 12 overs, 3 maidens, and no wicket for 39. So when the South Africans to begin their final innings of this Headingley Test match, they need 298 runs to win. We join the South African second innings now. It's the second over and the first ball. 1 run's on the board. Darren Gough is the bowler, and Gary Kirsten is taking strike. Problems there for Darren Gough. Don't like the look of that at all. That didn't look very good. He's caught his foot in part of the roughed up stuff there on the popping crease, and sometimes it happens that your foot is bent back, just catches on a bit of a hollow and then the rise, and that can be very, very painful. He's produced a fast leg break, but he's also got real problems there. Hasn't even been able to register any great joy at bowling one of the greatest balls we've seen in the match. The sort of pain he's going through. One of his favourite strokes, as soon as you give Gary Kirsten any width outside the off stump, he'll play that square drive or the drive through cover. Atherton is a gully. Atherton is going off now to have a bit of treatment to his hand after stopping that ball. I don't like the look of that either. We've got Gough for a start. Now the skipper, and he's not without pain either.
No ball called. Again, I think it was so short, he was going for the shot anyway.
Oh, this was a super shot, really. I mean, the ball got up high, one for the over, but I don't think Gary Kirsten's worried about medium pace of bouncing him. He rolled his wrist, he smacked it in the middle of the bat, and he hit it down.
Turn of the England captain. Little finger taped. Together with the third one. Chris Silverwood goes off.
Very close indeed. Hick at second slip. It was low and it was fast.
Well, another one of the encouraging balls, just going away from Gary Kirsten. And that goes down as a half chance.
Good shot. Handsome shot. 4 runs square on the offside. He's got him. Chapman's got him. He just pushed it through a bit, in fact, and brought Hudson forward with a firm drive. And we've seen 1 or 2 balls driven in the air. Mike Atherton a couple of times. And the same fate has befallen Andrew Hudson. So the first wicket goes 43 for 1.
Well, that was a poor shot from Andrew Hudson. Nicely flighted by Phil Tufnell. But Hudson hadn't got to the pitch of the ball. And if you're going to drive on any pitch, let alone this one at Headingley, you've really got to make sure you get down to the pitch of the ball, get your head over the ball, keep the ball down. He hadn't made it into a really full half volley, paid the price for it.
Cronny on a king pair, and he survives that ball. Very good stroke.
Seized on that very quickly. Plays the short ball well, Gary Kirsten.
Is comfortably in front of square, although he had to drag it a little from outside off stump. Very firmly struck.
Or more. Thought from the man at short leg.
Quite sharp turn from Hick there. Pad onto the arm. Oopsie. Great fun getting onto a test arena as a 12th man. Good feeling. Still something like this happens.
That one he couldn't quite reach. 6 more runs added to take along to 68 for 1 at tea. Gary Kirsten's batting well for 44. Cronje is 5 and Hudson out for 12. And the bowling for England, De Freitas and Gough, neither has taken a wicket there. And Tufnell has the one to fall at a cost of 16. We join it now in the first over after tea. 1 run has been added to the total. De Freitas is the bowler and Hansie Cronje is taking strike.
Wesley Cronje. Came in on a pair and he looks really tentative.
Plays the sweep to length as well as direction. He's just happy to get back on it. Doesn't try and hit it too hard. And that is 50. Oh, danger from that bowling rough there.
Yes, he shaped as if he was looking to cut it a bit. He went back, looking at, and it took him up for room. That's dangerous, cutting out of the rough.
Fine shot. He's played very well, Gary Kirsten. Just has an outside chance of getting 100 here in the second innings of this Test match. Hasn't made one at Test level. Good shot. So he goes now to 63. He needs just 37 for his first 100 in Test match cricket. So that's fair way away, but it's something for him to look forward to and something for him to aim at. Wasn't at all concerned with it, and he's waited there, and the umpire has given him out.
Gary Kirsten not happy.
Another look at that now, and De Freitas has not bothered to go up there. First slip is half going up, and he looked as though he missed that ball. Well, it's flicked his back sleeve, missed his bat.
Runs given here. Inside edge, but not carrying by a long way.
Well, they're not going to get this one. No real need for Philip De Freitas to look totally aggrieved there. He did get Gary Kirsten, and that one looked as though it came off the top of the left pad. That's very well bowled. Umpire Shepherd, a lot of words to say not out there.
Off the pad onto the forearm.
Well bowled. Just the thing to do to come around the wicket for the left-hander and just get the ball up there to him. Good cricket from Tufnell. Vessel's gone, bowled Tufnell 7, and it's now 104 for 3.
Too little, too late, but nonetheless an excellent ball from Phil Tufnell.
Up the Vessels goes, and Peter Kirsten comes out. So it'll be a different thing for Tufnell now. He'll probably still stay around the wicket. Good stroke from Peter Kirsten. Rich Richard Stemp, the emergency fielder, is the man down at deep backward square.
Darren Gough has Hansi Cronje in all sorts of trouble at the moment. Typical Darren Gough ploy, banging the ball in short and quick.
It's good bowling from Gough. A good performance from Gough, coming back from that injury mentioned. The wickets have gone to De Freitas and to Tufnell. Michael Atherton will be disappointed with the fact that he now has to win at the Oval to square the series, but the South Africans have done wonderfully well. Atherton has decided that he'll just have this one more over from Tufnell. He has the opportunity between 5:30 and 6 to go off if he wishes. He may just have had his attention caught by the Gough-Cronje battle. He has decided to stay on just for a few minutes. He's now having a word with Hansi Cronje, and the handshake comes. Just the one over, just a little gesture, just a matter of principle on the part of the England captain. 116 for 3 at the end, South Africa, with Gary Kirsten out for 65, Andrew Hudson 12, and Kepler Wessels 7. Interesting little interlude there with Darren Gough and Hansi Cronje. It'll be kept in the memory bank, I reckon, for the Oval Test match and for other games in the future. Peter Kirsten unbeaten on 8, 11 extras, 116 for 3, and the bowling, England 1 for 41 for De Freitas, Gough none for 15 from 10 overs and 5 maidens. Significant performance there from the young paceman who was injured at the start of his spell. Tufnell 23 overs, 8 maidens, 2 for 31, bowled pretty well, and Fraser none for 19, and Hick no wicket for 6. So that's the way the game finished up here at Headingley, the second Cornhill Test match. England 477 for 9, and 267 for 5 declared. Hick 110, and Thorpe 2 good innings. 72 and 73 for England in this game. South Africa 447 all out, 116 for 3. Gary Kirsten 65, I reckon he's a bit unlucky there as well, had a century in his sights. The match was drawn. South Africa lead the series 1-0. Man of the match, Peter Kirsten, and Tony Lewis spoke with the two skippers and Peter Kirsten.
Well, Peter Kirsten, congratulations, man of the match. The century, did that come as a sort of surprise to you?
Well, I think, you know, every batter, every cricketer works hard, so, you know, I was just very lucky on the day. Every dog has his day, and it was my day. I just found it a very tough game of cricket. But I suppose that's Test cricket, and, well, I didn't particularly enjoy it because it was very hard work, but it was a great game, and I'm just very pleased and thankful to have got 100, really.
Well, it gave a lot of pleasure to a lot of your fans in Derbyshire, I can tell you that, who've been writing into the comedy box.
Well, I hope it did give them some pleasure. I spent 5 very good years there. English cricket has been good to me, and it's really great to come back here and show the guys I can still play a bit at my young age.
You must be very pleased with Peter Kirsten's effort.
Oh, it was a fantastic effort for Peter's a very, very good player, and you know, I'm very pleased for him that this late stage of his career that he got a Test 100, and I think it means a tremendous amount to him.
I was pleased the way that with our performance, particularly after Lords, where we were very poor. I thought it was a much better performance. Individuals came in and played well. Delighted to see Graham Hick get a second Test 100. Graham Thorpe, I thought, came in and played very well both innings. Whilst the bowlers toiled a little bit, at least we looked to put the South Africans under some pressure.
Unfortunately, personally, you seem to have developed the art of scoring 99.
Well, I've had 2 99s now in Test matches, and so I suppose I could say I should have 900s, but unfortunately it didn't happen. It was a good catch by Brian McMillan, but I suppose before the start of play, if somebody said you get 99, you'd probably settle for it.
Yeah, and you can do it at the Oval, do you think?
I think so. Again, we've got to look to the basics, try and get a big score and put them under pressure. Hopefully the pressure will start to tell.
Tony Lewis talking with the two captains there at the end of this second test match at Headingley. Geoffrey Boycott now with his ideas on the day's play and on the match.
Well, this fifth day petered out to a draw because of England's inability to thrust home their advantage on the third day at lunchtime when they had South Africa 122 for 5. And even on the fourth morning they had an opportunity to win when they couldn't bowl out the South African tail-enders. South Africa, they'll be happy with a draw. They still feel they got out of jail. There hasn't been a draw at Headingley since 1980 when England drew against West Indies. For England, I must say, chances to win a test match don't come very often. They had chances here and they didn't take them. When they do come in future, they've got to grasp them with both hands. And that's what they've got to learn when they go to the Oval next week.
Geoffrey Boycott there thinking forward to the Oval, the final test between these two teams, England and South Africa. But we have cricket before